Alright, how's it going? Tonight's update night, so we're going to get started with the changelog for tonight. This is a very long one, so I'm not going to really go through any of the major changes, new sensors and things like that were added. I'll do it a two-part video or two-part update, and tonight I'll just tell you about the changes, go through NEI, show you recipes and stuff like that, and then I'll get the new covers and stuff made, and we'll check them out tomorrow. Because apparently Greg thought I needed to read a lot tonight. So first is a fix for milk bottles not always being drinkable. I don't drink milk bottles, so I haven't ran into this, but apparently it's fixed. Next is tooltip of holy water was fixed, not mentioning the weakness potion that is required. So let's go look at it. I actually have one up here, if I go in the right door. So this is holy water. May the holy planks be with you, can be used to cure weakened zombie villagers. And if you actually drink it, it gives you poison. So you can give this apparently to a zombie villager after you hit them with a weakness potion, and it'll cure them like a golden apple would. Alright, so that's good to know. Let's see. Changed basic machines are now immune against failing a progress for 1 second after they loaded, in case the energy production or energy networks or anything else starts late. So hopefully that's going to mean that this thing will not fail at the very last second like it normally does. Which, by the way, I was talking to Greg about the progress, the frequency he was talking about on the forums with these steam engines, and apparently a red engine will be better than a green engine. So because they may be on the downstroke instead of the upstroke when they get the recipe done, and then it has to wait for the entire stroke to get back before it can start the next recipe. And if it's red, it's moving faster, so it'll switch over to the next stroke quicker. The sifter, I never really see where it hangs up at the end, but the squeezer most definitely usually does. So you might want to use a red engine for that. So you would need either a smaller engine than steel, or 2 steel boilers to get this one up to the almost critical point. And let's see. Most IC2 machines are now disabled by default again. So let's see. Macerator. Yeah, there's no recipe for the macerator anymore. Ore washer doesn't have one. I'm guessing the centrifuge, the thermal centrifuge, probably does. Oh no, it doesn't either. So most of those do not have recipes. How about a generator? Can we still make the generator? I would guess so, because you need those for other generators. Oh, you can't even make the generator anymore. So that's actually going to make... Let's see, you can still do that because you can make this furnace semi-fluid you're not going to be able to make. So I'll have to say something to Greg about this, mainly for reactors. Unless he's planning on making his own reactor, you're not going to be able to make a reactor if we don't have a generator. So I'll have to say something to him about that. Let's see. Sensors in decimal mode are now limited to 9999 instead of 65,535. Since people apparently loop through the numbers for whatever reason. So, if you guys watched, I had a public service about how these things have a fourth number, and you could actually scroll backwards, and apparently now you can't do that. I want to go look at the thermostat one, because that's the one I was having trouble with. Let's see, so this one here, if I go all the way down, it will not go any further, so you can't loop anymore. But it doesn't change the hexadecimal. That still has the full thing it had before. It's only the decimal place that's limited, so that's nice to know. Alright, he added a progress sensor support for the mass storage to display item counts properly. Progress would be this sensor here, but I'm not quite sure. I've never used a progress sensor on a mass storage. Mass storage has numbers right on the front, so I'm not sure what the progress sensor would be used for on it, unless it's just telling how full it is. But I'm not sure why you'd care how full it is compared to just knowing what it is, unless it's for like a redstone type thing. So let's take a look at it here real quick. Grab my screwdriver, eat one of my jelly sandwiches. So 77.91, 77.91. And is there a percentage, but that's going to put, that doesn't say anything. Why is it not reading any percentage? Huh. Not quite sure. If anybody knows what that actually is supposed to be for, let me know, because I ain't got a clue. I don't know why that would matter. Let's see. Extenders can now have control, progress detector, and selector covers on them in order to set modes and the on-off state of the attached machines. Same goes for relaying the active, running, and progress stats of the machine. So these here, like if I wanted to try to control both of these machines, I should be able to put one of these on-off controls here. And that won't let me put it on there. Huh. I wonder why. Is it because it can't go on that face? Let's grab this. We'll put it up here. And yeah, I definitely cannot put that on there. Alright, so can I put an automatic one on there? No, I most definitely cannot. Alright, so did say an on-off to set modes and the on-off state of attached machines. Yeah, it's not going on there. So again, I'll have to ask Greg about that one. See why it's not going on there. This makes machines that happen to implement my interfaces but don't support my cover system capable of having such covers through the use of an extender. I'm not even sure which machines he'd be talking about that don't allow sensors or covers. So I'll have to see if I can figure that out, because most of them I've put sensors on at one point in time. Let's see. Added the auto machine reboot timer covers, and there are multiple of these. Let's look up cover here. And the ones this is talking about are these right here, which there's a 1 minute, a 5 minute, a 10 minute, a 20 minute, and a 30 minute. And they're made with either a repeater, a tin cable, a cover, and a circuit. I do believe this is basic circuit. Oh no, this looks like it's only going between 5 and 6. I thought when I looked at it earlier, it showed at least down to the advanced. But apparently I was on a different one. Okay, the 5 minute one is a repeater, a tin cable, and at tier 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so for some reason the 5 minute is cheaper than the 1 minute. Not quite sure. And then this one is the same recipe, and it looks like the screwdriver is just changing. But see there, that one's got a 3. I still hate this circuit thing over here. You never know what the lowest tier is going to be. Like that one still looks like it's 5 and 6. This one looks like it can be 4, 5, or 6. And for some reason this one looks like it can be 3 through 6. And you'll see the screwdriver is just now down here. And then you've got the 30 minute where it's all the way over here, and you've got all the way down to good. So for some reason, the longer the time, the lower grade circuit you can use. And that one went all the way down to 1. But basically they attempt to reboot a machine at whatever that time interval is. So, 1, 5, 10, 20, or 30. Let's see. The regular auto switch is faster reacting than those of basic machines, though. But some may prefer this variant over having an external redstone timer on a auto redstone switch. Next is the energy sensor cover, which, let's see here. Where is this is the display cover. Let's see. There we go, energy sensor. So this is tier 3 or higher circuit. Oh, there's tier 2. So good circuit on up. 10 wires, 10 cables, and a blank cover. That gives you your energy sensor. Emits depending on energy stored. So this is what I need on that upstairs to tell me how much energy is in my box to turn off the boiler. I'll run up here real quick and show you what I'm talking about. I had made this to tell me how much, and this is a flow circuit rather than a storage circuit, so I need to replace this with this, and then I should be able to put my battery, Gregtech battery, back in and have that automated a little bit better. And I'll take a look at that later on this week. Let's see. For energy storages that emit redstone, depending on how full they are, wire cutters and screwdrivers can set modes on this cover. Next is a progress sensor cover. Which is this one here. Emits depending on the progress. Item can be used as a cutter. You can use screwdriver, cutter, and magnifying glass. Screwdriver for mode, cutter for mode, and magnifying glass to see details. Let's see. Progress sensor cover for machines and similar that emit redstone depending on how their percentages are. So I need to make one of these and try it on my mixer setup over here and see if it will work for telling how much is left in there to work to shut this boiler off. So this is going to be 2 small brass gears, 2 tin cables, the blank cover, and a circuit again. And this looks like we can use anything from tier 2 and up. Let's see, activity detector cover. So that would be, you have activity detector possible, running, progressing, and success, which emits a short redstone pulse when it is done processing something. Machines that produce every tick would emit a constant signal. So these are going to be comparator, circuit, and then your tin cables and blank cover. This looks like it's going to be tier 2 and above. And then the running is going to be same thing but with repeaters. Progress is going to be a comparator and a repeater. And I'm guessing this is going to be the same. Oh, no. This is going to be a button and a torch. So that's your progress sensors. Let's see. Success detector cover. That would be this one. Emits a short redstone pulse when it is done processing something. Machines that produce every tick would emit a constant signal. Added, the igniter now accepts control covers. There's no need to use a splitter cable or similar method. That would be this block here. So you can now put covers on it. It'll automatically light your boiler for you, or any other block like portals. Let's see. This can be very useful with the auto reboot timers. So if you wanted your boiler to be turned on once every 30 minutes, you could use this with one of those, or 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. And let's see, mode selector covers. So putting in mode is going to probably give me a lot of crap. Oh, not really. Let's see. Those were already here. Why doesn't it show up in here? Added mode selector covers now work. Oh, they now work on electric engines to adjust their speed. Possible modes for this are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, and 31. The mode of a freshly placed engine would be 15. You need an extender to relay the command due to the engine not accepting covers. Okay, so does that mean that the extender will only work if it's beside the engine then? I'm going to have to play around with that and see. But we can do that tomorrow. Alright, tool related stuff. Improve the wrench wire cutting overlay. You might have seen that when I was doing this. You see the X's. That tells you what direction it's actually connected. And let me see if I can find my wrench real quick. If I can't, I'll use the wire cutters. I went out mining today, so everything just got thrown in my bag. And I don't see it, so let's just use a wire cutter. But you'll see here the X is on the bottom and top, which means the wire is connected on the top and bottom. So that'll be really good for those huge pipes that you can't tell if they're connected or not. Now they'll give you an X and tell you if they are, if they aren't. But since I can't figure out what in the heck I did with my wrench at the moment, I'm not going to be able to show you that. Oh, it's right there. Alright, so see, you can see that's connected there, there, and there. Not connected on the top or on the back or the front. And then if I wanted to, I could click off of that side and that disconnects that. So I really love that change. That is an awesome change. I'm glad he added it. Let's see. Added special plunger support for the basic machines. They will try to clear the fluid output first, then the fluid input, 1,000 liters at a time. So 1 bucket for every plunge. Added, you can now use a chisel to decalcify a boiler. I'm guessing it'll be just a click type thing. I don't have any boilers that need decalcified because all of mine run off of distilled water. But I'm guessing it's just going to be a click thing where you can decalcify it. So probably have to check that out too. I might do that on Saturday morning when I'm on the private server. Let's see. The steam inside has to be in the white area. So your boiler has to be below that green mark right there. So it has to be over here for it to work. Same for the stored heat, but water can be inside, no problem. Now, data related stuff, the auto crafter can now accept USBs. You'll see that the thing now shows it'll take blueprints or a USB. Let's see. It works with the USB switch as well. The printer now accepts molecular scans for printing material dictionaries from them. That's those blue books. These right here, so you can now print these off of a USB stick in a printer rather than having to do those recipes there. And let's see. HDD switch, which works like the USB hub. So that would be these here. There's a USB 1.0 hard drive, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. They store 16 files at once and can be placed in a bookshelf. Let's see what else it says here before we look at the recipe. It works like a USB switch, but with a single hard drive that has 16 slots rather than having to store 16 USB sticks. Also, the drive itself can be placed inside a bookshelf. By the way, did you know you can name USB sticks and hard drives in an anvil without issues? Might be helpful even though all data is visible in the tooltip anyways. So, the hard drive is going to take a music disc in the center, a helium laser emitter, 2 aluminum plates, 2 aluminum screws, a USB cable, and a screwdriver. And this is just helium in an empty gas canister. And then you're going to have the same recipe, but the cable is going to change and the material is going to change. So you got chromium and 3.0, and then you got titanium 4.0 and a bigger circuit. So that's your hard drives. There's a hard drive switch. This is going to be 3.0 cable, stainless steel, 2 circuits, tier 3 and above, the emerald crystal processor, and a stainless steel machine casing. Alright, so that's it for those. And now you have creative tabs for the regular multi-items. Can't believe he forgot to do that, which I have no idea because I don't use creative. And last is stibnite ore. There's now small stibnite added to the world gen because apparently getting antimony has been a pain for a few people. So he decided to add that in there. I haven't had any problem finding tetravein, so wasn't an issue for me, but if somebody was having an issue with it, I'm glad he took care of it. So that's it for the changelog tonight. I haven't seen any other dramatic changes in here that aren't on the changelog. If you know of anything, please leave it in the comments so everybody else can share from your experience. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you'd like, you can go to the IC2 forums, ask Greg directly, or go to his IRC dev channel, or, ask me and I'll carry it on and ask to Greg and let you know what I find out. Ask to Greg. Sounded kind of weird. Anyways, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have time to get all these different covers made tomorrow, and we'll check them out, play with them a little bit, poke them with a stick, see what we can do to break them, and see how they all work. So, have a good one, everybody.